You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley. I have a cat, 2 sweets, the travel kitty, and a big girlfriend, Angel's really pretty. I have a pony and we share a big horse. We have a big yard. Yeah, we have to, of course. I have a pool. In the summer I stay cool. Think of a fountain, live in the mountain, live high on the hog. Need to be a spokesdog. I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley.
Woof and Super Smiles. Welcome to a Super Smiley adventure on Pet Life Radio, the largest pet radio network in the world. I'm Megan Blake, the pet lifestyle coach, here with my handsome co-host, 2-time shelter dog, Super Smiley. He's the ambassador of kindness for the Animal Film Festival. Go, Super Smiley! His latest documentary was filmed at the University of Georgia with the Georgia Bulldogs, and it's called A PSA for Kindness. Go Dogs! It's only 2 minutes long, and we would love it if everybody would help us share kindness around the world by watching it at kindnessfilms.com. And if it makes you smile, you gotta share it. And here on a Super Smiley Adventure radio show, we explore adventures where animals lead. These can be adventures for fun, or missions of animal advocacy, or inner journeys of self-discovery where our pets become our healers and teachers. As for me, I'm the pet lifestyle coach. I travel the country with Smiley, helping people adopt the right pet for their lifestyle, and then I help train them so they keep that pet forever. And today on our show, we are so excited about our guest. She's the gorgeous and talented actress from NCIS, Arrow, the new Amazon original series Bosch, and so many more, including television classics like Star Trek Voyager, Boston Legal, 2.5 Men, and she's with us now talking about her new film, Against the Wild 2, Survive the Serengeti. Jeri Ryan, welcome to a Super Smiley Adventure. We're so excited that you're here, Jeri. I've seen you in just like everything all over the place, and we're just thrilled to have you. So tell us about this new project, Against the Wild 2.
This is the first thing that I've done that's truly a family film. I mean, this is targeted for, that was one of the big appeals to me for doing this project, is because my daughter's 8. So it was fun to do something that is actually written for and targeted at her age range. And so we can watch it together, and she loved it and was very excited.
And can you tell us a little bit about the theme? Because I know there's being lost out in the wilderness. Is it in the Serengeti? So give our listeners a little preview as to what it's about.
It's a family with 2 children who have moved to Africa. The father's working at a mine, or with a mining company. And so the kids are flying on a small plane for the weekend to go visit their dad at his work. And the plane goes down. And they get too close to the rebel territory, and it actually gets shot down.
Oh, my.
And so we don't know if they're alive, if they're dead. We're trying to find them. We're trying to locate the plane, trying to locate the kids. And so my character, the mom, is obviously frantic and beside herself and desperately trying to get the authorities to move along faster and find her children.
And they are out there in the wild with all the wild animals. They are out there
having to survive with the help of a very resourceful dog named Chinook who helps them.
Yes! That was my next question. Tell us, now there's a dog in the film. This is Pet Life Radio, so we are all about this. So tell us about the dog. What was it like working with Chinook?
I didn't really get to work with Chinook, only for the photo shoot, because he was with the kids and we were separate. The kids were on their own in the wilderness, and I was at the camp, the army camp, which was headquarters, to try and find them.
Right. Well, you met him on the photo shoot. Did you get to meet him?
I did meet him. He's lovely. He's the sweetest, beautiful animal. But yeah, I didn't get to work.
I saw his picture. He looks very, very charismatic is the word I want to put there.
Yeah.
And Jeri, I want to hear more about the animals on the film and how animals have influenced your life right after this break. Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
It's hard to find time for your furry family member. That's where Camp Bow Wow comes in. All-day play and overnight camp, daycare and boarding for dogs. Everything is included. Large play areas for fun and exercise. Spacious cabins, comfy cots, even live camper cams to watch from a computer or smartphone. Camp Bow Wow offers the best care and is the place to go where a dog can be a dog. For locations and more information, visit campbowwow.com.
It's designerpetsweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit designerpetsweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Large or small, we fit them all. designerpetsweaters.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back on a super smiley adventure with the gorgeous actress Jeri Ryan, who's here talking about her latest film, Against the Wild, to survive the Serengeti. Welcome back, Jeri.
Thank you.
So, Jeri, it has been said that the hardest actors and castmates to work with are dogs and other animals because they upstage everybody, and kids too. And you kind of you got both on this film, although you said you didn't actually work with the dog, but you did get to work with Ella Ballantine and Jean-Paul Raton, and they just looked like wonderful, wonderful actors. So the entire experience. Yes. Now, so how did they react working with the animals? Did they get to talk with you at all about working with them?
Oh, they loved it. I mean, it's a lot of fun to work with all of them. And, most of our background actors were giraffes. I mean, we had all of them in the backgrounds of most of these scenes, and it was just amazing. But the hardest thing for me was to stay focused and not just stare with my mouth open at these beautiful creatures.
There you go. I guess that's another way of looking at it, because I mentioned that it said that often the animals will upstage the actors, but I guess they also will draw the actors in too, so they're just literally taking over everything.
Yeah, I mean, these are the most just majestic, amazing creatures. It's one thing to work with the dog, and he's beautiful, and he's amazingly trained, and just a really sweet creature, but when you're working with these, I mean, think animals that you don't see every day, and you certainly don't see them in their natural habitat like this. And it was just magic.
Right. I love that word, magic. And in the film trailer, which I love, by the way, I'm so excited to see this movie. In the film trailer, it looks like the kids are befriended by some of the wild animals. Can you tell us about that plot point, how the animals actually are integrated into helping save the kids? Is that right? Did I assess that correctly?
They help out a young elephant who was trapped, and then they rescue him, and then he comes back to help them and sort of befriends them. They meet with a variety of wildlife. They meet some ostriches. They meet a bush baby. They meet some giraffes.
What's a bush baby? What's a bush baby?
Oh, my God. The bush babies are ridiculous. They are the cutest, tiny, I call them finger monkeys. They're these teeny, tiny little adorable creatures that can they would jump from shoulder to shoulder of everybody in the room. And, they're just amazing.
And where did you all shoot this? You had to be on location.
We were in South Africa, yes.
Yes. Oh, what was that like?
We stayed at a wildlife preserve, and it was amazing. Mm-hmm. So literally my commute to work is sometimes we're driving 1 mile an hour because we're behind 3 or 4 giraffes that decided to just walk up the street and stop to graze. I mean, I keep using the word magic, but it truly was. It was absolutely magic.
I love that. And I believe animals are magical anyway. I have horses and dogs and cats. And
oh, do you?
Yes, and I spend most of my time, and this is absolutely true whenever I can take my computer, in the horse pen, because it's so grounded and the horses are so peaceful. And it kind of seems like that's sort of what you were talking about, just traveling back and forth to set to be able to be around these animals.
It was incredible. And there was a herd of zebras that lived on this preserve, and one of them, whose name is Jack, was fascinated by the shooting. So every time they set up a set, he was right there, usually in the director's tent, right by the monitors, just hanging out.
That is so funny. I love that.
It's great.
My horse is very curious, and whenever the vet comes over to do my miniature horse, he puts his head down, and I always call it supervising. So Jack was I think Jack should get a credit as like a script supervisor or something.
I think he should. He was the most consistent thing in the whole film. He was amazing.
I love that. And I love how the elephant, as you described, is depicted as so intelligent and being able to make caretaking decisions to help the kids. What do you think about animals and their emotional intelligence? What's your opinion on that?
Well, they definitely have emotions. They absolutely have emotions. I grew up with dogs and cats. We've always had each. Now we have a St. Bernard, who we rescued, an adult St. Bernard, and a cat who we also rescued, who are just beautiful animals. And my daughter has a pony. We've had a horse.
Wow, y'all sound like us.
They absolutely have emotional intelligence. They absolutely have their own emotions. And if you're sensitive enough, you can tell what they are, because they do try to communicate with you.
Absolutely.
You can't take these animals for granted.
No, no. And what do you think is the best thing for you and your family, your daughter, about having all these animals? You mentioned a big dog, a little cat, a pony. What do you think is the best thing?
Well, you learn a sense of responsibility and taking care of them, but you also just learn respect for other creatures. It's not just about humans. It's not just about us. And you really learn to care for other animals and respect them and see that they do have emotions and that are perfectly valid and perfectly important, just like ours.
I love that. And do you have a special tip or something that your dog loves that you can share with our listeners, or maybe something your daughter does with your pony that you could share for people who have ponies or dogs or kitty cats?
Well, our animals tend to be kind of spoiled. We have a big garden, so JD, her pony, loves carrots from the garden, so he gets a lot of fresh carrot tops are his favorites, actually. But it's funny because all the different horses at the barn they all have very specific tastes, things just like we do, just things that they do and don't like. So he particularly loves the tops of carrots. Some of the horses turn up their noses and won't eat them. And the peppermints, he loves peppermints like most of them do. And
have you ever given your pony or any of the horses at the stable the watermelon rinds? Have you ever tried that?
I haven't. Do they like that?
Oh my gosh, you have to do that. And that when summer comes and you all get watermelon, save the rinds. You are going to not believe what you see. These horses, they put them in the mouth and it starts foaming, and it's like the best thing they've ever had in their lives. You must.
We'll have to do that. We'll try that. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, do that with your little girl too, because when I was a little girl at the stable I grew up with, the most fun thing was after we'd eat a watermelon, we'd take the rinds into the barn and we would just all sit out there. It was just so much fun. And I don't know, I guess something you could take home from that is just eating good food for us too. The horses like good food, the dogs.
Absolutely.
And so let's remember that one too, right? Okay, great. And Jeri, I want to hear more about your film and your connection with the animals right after this break. Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm a U.S. Air Force member stationed overseas, and we have 3 rescued mutts. Stone Phillip was to be euthanized. There were bacteria crawling all over his skin. They called it elephant skin. It was rough, wrinkly, like a Brillo pad. He was in constant misery.
DINOVITE.com.
We started feeding him the Dinovite, and his skin, it's a 180 turnaround. His skin has cleared up. He's not in pain. Stone is in excellent shape today. He runs, stays slim and trim, and follows my husband around like he worships him. I would highly encourage you to get a rescue dog and start them out on Dinovite right from the beginning, and they'll make such a difference in your life. Call 859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
Or go to Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Begging to hear more of your favorite show? Full episodes of all our shows are available on demand. Go to PetLifeRadio.com to fetch our entire lineup of Possum Pet podcasts. Also, dig us up in iHeartRadio Talk and iTunes. Let's talk pets. Live and on demand only from Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Amanda Seyfried, and I am on a Super Smiley adventure.
And we're back on a super smiley adventure with actress Jeri Ryan, who's starring in the new film Against the Wild 2, Survive the Serengeti. Welcome back, Jeri.
Thank you.
And so, Jeri, for me, and one of the themes on our show, animals are healers and teachers. I've learned so much from all my animals. And you mentioned a few things that you all have learned, but what do you think about animals actually as healers and teachers?
Well, they certainly can teach you patience, and they certainly help with stress relief. My cat is my best stress relief. When I get stressed, and he'll just jump up on your lap and climb up around, snuggle around your neck, and so sweet.
I love that.
They are great for that.
And I love that you mentioned your pony for one thing, and the dog. You mentioned responsibility earlier, and the cats helping you relax. Because different species, not only different individuals, but different species seem to sort of have different talents or gifts. Would you agree with that?
Oh, that's an interesting observation. I've never really thought about it, but yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because like you mentioned the giraffes. So let's go back to the set back in the Serengeti with the giraffes and the Jack, the script supervisor. So what do you think that they would have if we were to observe the giraffes or the little zebras? What do you think they would have to share with us as a human species?
Well, you learn stillness. You learn a sense of
yeah.
they can run, and they do run sometimes, and they get active, but they're very languid, and watching them eat and things like that. And it's just incredible. We would pull the car over sometimes to the side of the road and just stand and watch them because they were right there, right at the side of the road, eating from these trees. And what these huge animals are eating, the tiny, tiny, tiny leaves on the thorniest tree that you can imagine. But they're just so patiently picking the leaves with their tongue. And they're just beautiful, but they really teach you a sense of stillness.
I love a sense of stillness. Well, I was actually talking with a priest one time, and he believed, I asked him the same question, he believed that animals were little bits of God's grace, because he said animals behave exactly the way they were created to behave. It's man that does things that we're not supposed to do. And that sort of reminds me of what you just said. Yeah, that the big giraffes being very still, eating their little tiny, tiny leaves, doesn't that kind of remind you of that they're doing just what they should be doing?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yes, yes. And actually, we have one more minute. So along those same theme, Jeri, have your dogs or any of your animals led you on an adventure?
No, not really that I can think of.
Well, it kind of seems like your move with the movie, walking down the path or riding on the path, following the giraffes. That was kind of an adventure, being on the Serengeti, I would think.
Being on the set was an adventure, and being in Africa was an amazing adventure.
Yes, I second you on that, Jeri. And so where can we go to keep up with you? Do you have a website, or are you on Twitter? Where can we go to?
I am on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook. I'm on Jeri Ryan Official on Facebook, and I'm Jeri L. Ryan, the middle initial L, on Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, good. Well, we will be sure to keep up with you. And Jeri, when is your movie coming out? How can we see it? It'll be out soon, right?
Yes, I believe it actually either just came out or is coming out. I thought it came out.
I think so
Friday,
too. Okay.
I could be wrong.
Well, you know what? We're all going to check our listings, and everybody will go see Against the Wild 2. And to watch our latest PSA for Kindness, Go Dogs, and help us share kindness around the world, you can go to kindnessfilms.com, or you can just Google Super Smiley PSA. And we want to wish you, Jeri, the best of luck with Against the Wild. Jeri, thank you so much for joining us on a Super Smiley adventure. Thank you so much. You have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. And thank you to our super producer, Mark Winter, for bringing a Super Smiley adventure out to the world. And from all of us here at Pet Life Radio on a Super Smiley adventure, we hope you love all your adventures with all your pets. So until next time, woof and super smiles.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.